you guys my updated vinyl collection. I made one of these videos when I was first starting on this channel. A few of you might remember, but my collection has grown a bit since then, so I thought that I would show you all of my new vinyls as well as some of my older ones. I hope that you enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get started. So to begin, the first vinyl that I have to show you is Back in Black by AC/DC. C, and then the signature lightning bolt, D, C, then Back in Black right here. And this album, as you can see, is completely black, and it has a little bit of a satiny sort of finish, which is quite interesting. It's a little bit reflective. And on the back, we have the track list. So there is Back in Black, which is one of the singles for this album. And then Hell's Bells, Shoot to the Thrill, Giving the Dog a Bone, What Do You Do for Money, Honey, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, Let Me Put My Love Into You, You Shook Me All Night Long, Shake a Leg, and Have a Drink on Me. And my favorite track in this album, very hard to pick because this album is probably one of my favorite albums of all time. But I really love Shoot to Thrill. It was also the song that played at the beginning of Iron Man 2, and AC/DC in general always reminds me of Tony Stark, who is one of my favorite fictional characters. So yeah, I really love Shoot to Thrill. Back in Black was probably the first AC/DC song that I listened to, however. I really love this band. I'm still trying to sort of listen to more of their discography. So far, the two albums that I listened to are Back in Black and Highway to Hell. But I'm still trying to, familiarize myself with their discography. But I love AC/DC. They are such an amazing band. So this is the sleeve that protects the vinyl itself. And as you can see, there are a bunch of sort of cutouts. AC/DC looks like there's some news clippings. We have the members on the cover. And it looks like right here, this is like a sort of news article, it looks like, regarding the release of the album. And on the back side, we have pictures of all the AC/DC members at the time of this album's release with their names. We have the famous Hell's Bells giant bell with AC/DC on it. But yeah, this is Back in Black, which is, I think, the second, or that album with the second most high sales after Michael Jackson's Thriller. But this is a phenomenal release, and if you are into rock music, or I feel like even if you aren't really into rock music, it's good to sort of be familiar with the the singles that have come from this album because they are quite famous. So, yeah. Alright, so let me move on to the next album. Up next is Favorite Worst Nightmare by Arctic Monkeys. Another one of my favorite bands, and this is my favorite album from them. I love the cover and the sort of abstract details in the windows, as you can see. And the sort of vintage, groovy looking font is quite neat, as well as the color of it. I feel like this is not a very conventional color to use, but it sort of captures the gloomy, but also playful atmosphere with the little abstract details in the windows right there. And on the back is the back side of the house and the track list, side 1 and side 2. So on side 1 is Brian Storm, Teddy Picker, D is for Dangerous, Balaclava, Fluorescent Adolescent, Only Ones Who Know. And side 2 is Do Me a Favor, This House is a Circus, If You Were There, Beware, The Bad Thing, Old Yellow Bricks, and most famously 505. And my favorite track I would definitely say is Teddy Picker. That song always gets me so excited every time I listen to it. I'd say it's the opening tune that sort of plays out that really does it for me. I really love the sound of it. It's very groovy, playful, but I also really love Fluorescent Adolescent, as well as This House is a Circus. I really like that one too. But all the songs are really amazing, and if you are an Arctic Monkeys fan, you probably heard of this record. I think it's one of their most famous albums. Or if Arctic Monkeys is a band that you would sort of like to get to know a little bit better, familiarize with yourself with their discography, I definitely recommend listening to this album. It's very sort of reflective of the style that they originally started out with, more quick, accelerated sort of pacing in the songs. I feel like this album definitely has a lot of youthful elements about it, with how quick a lot of the rhythm is and everything. It's a solid album. And this album does open up, and I'll try my best to show you, but there are 2 panels. So as you can see, they have more of the abstract sort of art, which is very cool. And the record itself is protected in this little sleeve. I'm gonna try to show you guys, but I want to be careful not to damage it. So this is the vinyl. As you can see, it says Favorite Worst Nightmare with the track list, and this is side 1, and side 2 has this very interesting design on it. It sort of almost reminds me of graffiti. And there's also this sort of pamphlet in here with the track list on it, as well as credits at the bottom. And then there is this little excerpt, and this is from Jackie Pantomime, and inside of it we have some more interesting photographs. Yeah, that was Favorite Worst Nightmare by Arctic Monkeys. Let me know if you are an Arctic Monkeys fan or if you have a favorite album, a favorite song. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Up next, we have one of my favorite albums. This is Physical Graffiti by Led Zeppelin. This is a very, very cool album design because all the windows are actually cut out and there's a separate sheet, which I'll show you in a second, that slides in there with the lettering across. But this album is a masterpiece and it's amazing. I love it. Led Zeppelin is a band that I sort of got into recently, and they are incredible. I really love them. I'm still trying to sort of familiarize myself with their discography because they do have a lot of work. Lots of interesting projects and that sort of thing. But this is the first album that I listened to after reading a book that recommended this album. So I decided to listen to it and it's really good. So this is side one. We have Custard Pie, which as soon as I heard that song, I was like, this is gonna be a good album. Then there's The Rover, which is one of my personal favorites, In My Time of Dying. Side two, Houses of the Holy, Trampled Underfoot, and Kashmir, which is one of the best songs and also a very popular track. Side three, In the Light. I'm not sure how to pronounce this song, but I think it's Bronyer R. Please correct me, I don't know how to pronounce it. Down by the Seaside, 10 Years Gone, and lastly, side four, we have Night Flight, The Wanton Song, one of my favorites. Boogie with Stew, Black Country Woman, and Sick Again. There are two vinyls in this album, and I'll just show you one of them so you can see what it looks like. But it has this sleeve on it, which is very cool. The album design is just incredible. And then the vinyl has the famous Zeppelin angel on it. Or is it a cherub? Maybe it's a cherub. But yeah, I love this album so much. And if you are a human looking for good music taste, I recommend this album. Next is Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and this is the last album that I didn't show in my other videos, so the last sort of recent purchase of mine. This is by Elton John, and this is one of my favorite albums. The artwork on this album is just beautiful. I love it so much. It sort of has this it looks like watercolor, pencil crayon, and a very storybook sort of feel, which I really love. It says Elton John. I think Elton John's voice is probably one of my favorite voices ever. It's just very kind on the ears, and I feel like he's got one of those voices where you just never really get sick of it, you know? And this is the back. So there are two vinyls. Side one is Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, Candle in the Wind, Benny and the Jets, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, one of my favorites. This song has no title. Grace Hill, Jamaica Jerk Off. I've seen that movie too, just another one of my favorites. I actually also really like Candle in the Wind. Side three, Sweet Painted Lady, underrated masterpiece in my opinion. The Ballad of Danny Bailey, 1909 to 34. Dirty Little Girl, All the Girls Love Alice, and side four, Your Sister Can't Twist, but She Can Rock and Roll, Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting, Roy Rogers, Social Disease, and Harmony. So the inside of this album is very cool, and so you can basically open it like this, and there are illustrations that come with every one of the songs. And on the other side there are pictures of Elton, as well as I think some of the people that helped to produce the album. And there's another side here that also has illustrations with the songs. It's so hard to show you guys because, you know, when you open vinyls, they are pretty big. But this album is very well made, very well designed, and a really great record, just in general. If you haven't listened to Elton John, please listen to him. You will not regret it at all, and your life might be changed listening to his songs. So, one of my favorite songs by him is Rocket Man. Rocket Man. Alright, so now I will show you some of my previous albums that I've collected before. So let's get right into that. So these ones are in protective sleeves that my sister so kindly gave to me to use. This is Abbey Road by the Beatles, one of my favorite bands. The Beatles are amazing. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's common knowledge that they are internationally famous and loved for a reason. We have John Lennon, Ringo, Paul, and George Harrison. And my favorite members are these two in the middle here. And this is the back. So side one is Come Together Something, which is my favorite song of this album. Maxwell Silverhammer, Oh Darling, which I also really love. Octopus's Garden, I Want You, She's So Heavy, also really good, really love that song. Side two, Here Comes the Sun, obviously the song that everybody knows and adores. Because You Never Give Me Your Money, Sun King, which I also really like and I think is underrated. Me and Mr. Mustard, Polythene Pam, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight, and That. Next up is Chicago Greatest Hits. And this is an album that I got on my trip to Oregon Coast, and I love this band a lot. They were definitely my comfort band when I was going through a really hard time last summer, and listening to Peter Cetera's voice just helped calm me down and sort of ground me. So I will forever associate Chicago and Peter Cetera with sort of that feeling of comfort that I received during a very difficult time in my life. Side one, we have Hard to Say I'm Sorry / Get Away, Look Away, Stay the Night, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow, What Kind of Man Would I Be, remix. Side two, You're the Inspiration, which is my favorite Chicago song of all time. I Wanna live without your love, hard habit to break. That one is so sad. Along comes a woman, if she would have been faithful, and we can last forever, which is probably my second favorite song off of this greatest hits collection. This one comes with a very cool ocean blue colored vinyl. Up next is Submarine by the Marias. Another great album. I think that the Marias always have such a cool concept and aesthetic and everything. The design of this album is really cool, and the whole sort of vibe they were going for, the atmosphere. So for the track list, there's Ride, Hampton's Echo, my favorite. Run Your Mouth, another one of my favorites. Real Life, Blur, Paranoia, also really love that one. Night Host, Tea, Love You Anyway. I No Puedo, No One Noticed, Vicious Sensitive Robot, If Only, and Sienna. And obviously every single song on here is really great. I think I really love Echo the most. It's so sad but cozy and warm at the same time. And I think that Mario wrote that song sort of about her breakup with, I forgot his name, but it was the man that she had started the Marias band with. That song's so sad, but it's very beautiful, and it always reminds me of summer, the summer where I was very sad. But it's still, it's a great song. I really love it. I've always found it so amazing how humans can be so expressive with music and everything, and we can sort of make something good out of something bad that happened to us, and I feel like that's very beautiful how we are capable of doing that, if that makes sense. But anyway, let me move on to the other albums that I have. Cigarettes After Sex by Cigarettes After Sex. I love how simple this album is. It's got a really nice matte texture actually, and I know it doesn't look like that because I got my sort of protective sleeve on here. The track list. Okay, Each Time You Fall in Love, Sunsets, Apocalypse, Flash, Sweet, Opera House, Truly, John Wayne, and Young and Dumb. And I think I mentioned that my favorite song on here was Truly, because that song sort of feels the happiest to me. I kind of like that the colors of that song are a little bit more bright. It kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. But all the songs on here are really great. It's a very nice sort of evening, nighttime, rainy day sort of album. Just be very cozy while listening to, This was the album that got me into Arctic Monkeys, as I'm sure that it did for a lot of Arctic Monkeys fans. This is the back. Do I Want to Know, Are You Mine, One for the Road, Arabella, I Want It All, Number 1, Party Anthem, Side 2, Mad Sounds, Fireside, Why Do You Only Call Me When You're High, Snap Out of It, Knee Socks, and I Want to Be Yours. And definitely by a long mile, my favorite song of this album is Are You Mine, and that is probably my favorite Arctic Monkeys song in general. I just love it so much. It is so good. Literally every time I hear that song, I just get an adrenaline rush, and it's amazing. It feels amazing, and I feel like Alex Turner's voice is especially addictive on that particular track. I don't know if it's just me, but I love that song so much. It never gets old in my opinion, and will never get old. Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not by Arctic Monkeys. This is their debut album, and it is very good. So the track list is The View from the Afternoon, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, which is my favorite. Fake Tales of San Francisco, Dancing Shoes, You Probably Couldn't See for the Lights, But You Were Staring Straight at Me, Still Take You Home, Side B, Riot Van, Red Light Indicates Doors Are Secure, Marty Bum, Perhaps Vampires is a bit strong, but When the Sun Goes Down, From the Ritz to the Rebel, and A Certain Romance. The Twilight Soundtrack, very iconic, and I love this. I love the album cover, which is the movie poster. This is the back with the track list. Side A, Supermassive Black Hole by Muse. Muse is one of my favorite bands of all time, and I did discover them because of the song that they used in Twilight, and they are a very good band, so I highly recommend checking out some of their music, especially if you like sort of hard rock or badass sort of music. I highly recommend. Then is Decode by Paramore, Full Moon by The Black Ghost, Leave Out All the Rest by Linkin Park, which is one of my favorites. Spotlight Twilight Mix by Mute Math, Go All the Way Into the Twilight by Perry Farrell. Side B, Trample for My Beloved by Collective Soul, I Got Myself by Paramore, I love that song. Eyes on Fire by Blue Foundation. Never Think by Robert Pattinson, which is very cool that he sang that song. Flightless Bird, American Mouth by Iron and Wine, which I also really love that song. That song actually always reminds me of my high school graduation because that was the song that I used on my Instagram post. So now I forever sort of associate that song with graduating from high school. And then Bella's Lullaby by Carter Burwell, which is probably one of my favorite pieces of music of all time. It's so good. I've loved that song since I was in grade 6 or 7. It's just so magical. I feel like I'm in Twilight every time I hear it. And this one comes with the purple disc, because I got this one from Barnes & Noble, and it came with its own sort of special vinyl, which is pretty cool. Second to last album, Bad by Michael Jackson. I think he was one of my dad's favorite artists growing up. He's very good, definitely deserves all the hype, being the king of pop. side 1, there's Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Sweet Demon, Liberian Girl, which is so good, my favorite song, Just Good Friends. Side 2, Another Part of Me, Man in the Mirror, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Dirty Diana, and Smooth Criminal. And finally, the last album that I have is Black Holes and Revelations by Muse, which I mentioned before is one of my favorite bands, musical artists in general. I love this album cover. I love the orange and the blue. I feel like they really sort of stand out nicely. So the track list: side A is Take a Bow, Starlight, Supermassive Black Hole, Map of the Problematique, Soldier's Poem, and Invincible. Side B, Assassin, Exopolitics, City of Delusion, Voodoo, and Knights of Sidonia. And my favorite songs are Starlight, Supermassive Black Hole, Soldier's Poem, and Knights of Sidonia. So that is my completed, updated, final collection. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found it interesting, maybe, and relaxing, most of all, I hope. Please let me know your music taste in the comments or anything like that, or if you liked any of these albums, or maybe if you have any of them in your own collection. That'd be really cool to know. I hope that you sleep very, very well as always.